We play and call it work.
MiniWarGamer Dave here from MiniWarGaming.com. Welcome Wargamers to a showcasing of the Blood Angel army that exists here at MiniWarGaming. This is my army. I play this army, secondary to Chaos of course, but what you're looking at right here is 15,000 points of Blood Angels. So we're going to spend a few minutes and go over exactly what is here. Well, look at what we got here. Look at this pretty model. I wonder who painted it. Might be the cameraman. In fact, I think it is the cameraman, yes. Who's the cameraman? It's Quirk. Just in case you're wondering. Thanks, Quirk. So, as I understand, Quirk, you painted this up for a painting competition.
Yes.
It was from some of the models, some of the sprues that were just sitting around. And you thought, I don't have a Blood Angel army, I'm just going to give it to Dave. Is that, am I right?
That's correct.
Okay. So, I will say this. Anytime you feel like entering a painting competition and using one of my unpainted models, have at it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't even have to ask, just take and do and give, and it'll all be accepted as a gift of chaos. Starting with the troops choices down below right here. Those are just your regular tactical marine squad. There's a couple different painting schemes or styles. We have some new marines with the larger bases, and then you have the older ones here, and then you have some devastators right in the middle. I don't have a whole lot of devastators. The ones I do have are here, and they have their plasma cannons. Only a couple missile launchers. That's my favorite #1 thing to bring on devastators. Whether it's devastators, havocs, long fangs, any equivalent, I like the missile launchers. Going back to the troops though, as you can see I got heavy flamers in my tactical marine squads because that is an awesome way to kit out your Blood Angel tactical marines. That's my preference. All the new Blood Angels that you see right there, they each have it, and there's 4. The exact same, and then back here these are just secondaries. I consider them secondaries because the paint job isn't as good. Some of them I bought off of eBay. These ones were painted by Greenleaf Terrain. So thank you, Adam, for that. Going back here, these are actually flesh tears. These are every flesh tear color scheme model that I have. The red is a little brighter than one might expect the flesh tears to be, but I don't mind. I like it. The paint job is fantastic. Very happy with how this turned out. In fact, every time one of these guys dies on the battlefield, I kind of get a little sad because the paint job is so pretty. But such is life. Looking at some Terminators, I don't have a whole lot in the army because Blood Angels are a fast army and Terminators aren't fast. That's my logic. I have 10 Assault Terminators and then 5 regular Terminators. Hardly bring them. The ones I do bring are the ones that are painted the best. Worthy painted those up back in the day. Going over here, these 10 tactical marines, the Sanguine, what's the name? Angel Sanguine, I believe, is what it is the color scheme. I could be wrong. Someone will probably correct me if I am wrong. But they were painted up by a guy named Dante. Now, see, that's really cool, just because Dante is very special in the Blood Angels army. For those of you who don't know. And I'll show you Dante in just a minute, but thank you, Dante. These are actually on loan. These aren't mine. So they were just, he loaned them to me. So in the event that you come back, you can get your Angels back. But I like fielding them because you got a missile launcher in the squad, you got a plasma gun, and the sergeant has a cape. It's just cool. I like it. 6 scouts, no more. Would actually like to bolster that a bit, but I don't use scouts a whole lot. What I like in the Blood Angels army, coming over here this way, the forces are much stronger in the jump pack realm. There's a lot of assault marines here. Many assault marines, too many in fact. So many that I can't actually field all of them in a regular game because it's just too many points. But I like having variety nonetheless, and there's just more weapons to choose from. These are Vanguard veterans. Haven't had a chance to field them yet. Got my kid sis Mel to paint them up, and she did. And the cool thing about these guys is that they have a special formation where their upgraded weapons are free, which sounds ridiculous, and one might think, why don't you just create a whole army of Blood Angels with these guys. And I really should. And that was my goal, that was my intention. But it's been so long since I've seen them, and it took a long time to paint them, but to be honest, I forgot about them, so that's why. But I look forward to fielding them because they have cheap weapons. Now, talking about cheap upgrades, going over here to the Death Company, there's jump packs on these Death Company, and they're non-jump packs. Jump packs cost 3 points to upgrade on these guys, so they're so cheap that that's how I bring my Death Company now, with jump packs. It's silly not to bring them any other way, unless you bring them in rhinos, but I like the jump packs just for the fact that you get your Hammer of Wrath, and you can re-roll your charge moves if you don't use your jump packs in the movement phase and all that, so a lot more versatility, I find. I don't actually feel these guys too much as well, just because they're so expensive. They're crazy expensive. They're fantastic looking models, and if I were just crazy enough, I would probably even get their jump packs and use them on other models in the army, such as the Vanguard Veterans. It would be a perfect thing to use, these jump packs. Going on to the tanks. Got a bunch of Rhinos, a couple Razorbacks, a lot of Predators. In fact, I have more Predators than I do Rhinos, because the Bellpreds are a special thing in the Blood Angel army. They used to be better because they were a fast attack choice, and now they're not, so I don't bring them as much. But they're still fun to bring because they got their Flamestorm cannon, and it's just a cool looking model. It's unique. Vindicator. Thank you, Drewski, my bro. He painted it up and he gave it to me as a gift. This is a gift of chaos, and I appreciate it very much. Beautifully painted, and I love fielding Vindicators because they're awesome. And get this, supercharged engine, it's a fast vehicle, you can move 12 and shoot the Demolisher cannon. That's why it's awesome. That's why Blood Angel Vindicator is better and cut above the rest. Drop pods, I got 6. I'm a fan of drop pod assault. I often bring tacticals in the drop pods for that very reason. Looking at the land speeders, I'm not proud of these. The reason why is because they're not well painted, really, not at all. And I really should have them ramped up, vamped up, whatever, revamped. There you go. Now, get this. See that land speeder right here up front? That was scratch built by a 13-year-old, and it's made out of cardboard. The only thing that's real on this model are the Marines inside. Oh, yeah, and the engines in the back, those are Lego wheels. That's what makes this model awesome. This is the best one out of all these. And who gave it to me? Well, Joel Neff gave it to me, of course, but I don't think he's the one that converted or painted it. He told me about the guy who did it and gave it to him, and then he in turn gave it to me. So thank you for that. See, that's a cool thing. That deserves a spot on the shelf. Got some heavy tanks back here. Land Raiders, we got some Crusaders and Redeemers, and just regular Land Raider as well, which is good. There's options. Dreadnoughts. You gotta have Dreadnoughts, your Furioso Dreadnoughts in the army. They're special in that they're Furioso Dreadnoughts, but they're really not that special because, yes, you can take psychic powers with them, but I just don't really bring them as much as I used to. Back in like 5th edition, they were much better. That's when you can pop them down and use your lance, use your psychic ability, which you can like pop 3 vehicles because it was just a good tactic when they come out of a drop pod, but now it's not as good. And also back then, having a cover save on a vehicle was a big deal. Now, basically, you can just throw a cover save on a vehicle. There's so many different ways to do it. So unfortunately, they're not as special as they used to be, but still, pretty model nonetheless. 2 Death Company Dreadnoughts. I don't really field them that often, but I like having them because I have the option to field them. And in the old Blood Angel Codex, you could bring one every 10 guys or something like that. I couldn't remember it. I only tried it like once. But anyway, you could bring like 6 or 8 or something ridiculous like that in a single list, as long as your troops were Death Company. That was back in the day. Blood Angel players, they'll remember that. And I think that's pretty much it for the army. I think I'm gonna, oh, no. Most important thing. Last thing we'll go over are the HQs. Of course, right? The leaders of the army. So we have the Sanguinor, then a bunch of sanguinary priests. Got Corbulo, he is the sanguinary priest. Dante. I have a new Dante as well. He was made by, he was made at true scale. So he is much taller and wider and just better than that one. And he's not metal, because the metal one falls over. He's a bit top heavy, but that's okay. Corlane, Lamartes, and then there's some honor guard here. I purchased them from Worthy Painting. I've never once fielded them in a game. They're nicely painted, but I just don't prefer to bring them. That's it. Never once. Ever. Craziness. And then Tycho, I got Tycho. I got one version of Tycho. There's a couple versions of him. And that's it. Gabriel Seth, do I have him? Yeah, I think he's in the back there. And that's it for the HQs. This is it for the army. 15,000 points when you include just regular upgrades, which of course you're going to bring upgrades, and all of the HQs and warlords. So wouldn't it be fun if this was just fielded in one massive game? I think that'd be cool. I can picture an apocalypse game where there's just wrecking balls going through these assault marines, because you know they're going to be flying around and doing a bunch of stuff to people that they don't want to happen, because they're fast. That's the thing about them. They're fast, but they're not the fastest. I would say that White Scars are the fastest. Can't think of a faster Space Marine army. Correct me if I'm wrong, but White Scars are the way to go. But I still love my Angels. They still need love, and they're still fun to field. Drop out assault. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully you like this video. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think I should add to the army, because this is an army. It's a studio army. It's here. It exists. I field it often, and I would like to add to it. So leave your suggestions, what you think I should bolster, what forces in the army I should bolster. Maybe the Flesh Tearers, get some more of those, because they're cool. They have their own formations and their own scenarios, so that's fun as well. So thank you for watching, and happy wargaming.